Hi guys, this is your streamer Carlos. On today's video, I'm gonna give you my review of Daredevil Born Again, season 2, episode 3. Huh. On the ball start again, and letting and letting the NYC birds fly. So here we go, guys. I love this episode. First of all, let's kick it off back. Let's kick it off backwards a little bit. Now, like I told you in my review for episode 2, the swordsman was sentenced to stay at his secret at the bald one's secret vigilante prison. But it's not only a prison. It's not a prison. It's a prison, but they have different bars. They put vigilantes like the swordsman and other opposers of the bald one's government in cages. But anyway, that's getting ahead of myself. But that's where I'm going to start off. The swordsman gets sentenced to remain in the bald one's secret prison for vigilantes. But wait, there's more. But in a crazy idea of a plan which is crazy, Maddie, Karen, meaning Maddie, aka Daredevil, and Karen, well, mostly Maddie, Daredevil, has a plan to basically go get on the bald star, aka the North Star again, and basically do what he does. Basically destroy more of the bald man's smelly chocolate. What I mean by smelly chocolate is that in episode 2, guys, in my review of episode 2, I said smelly chocolate because Fisk, Baldy Fisk, was keeping his armaments and weapons inside, hiding them in baby diaper packages. So what I mean by smelly chocolate, I mean number 2, if you know what I mean. Crap. Crap. But anyway, that's why I decided to put in my episode 2 title, the bald man smelly chocolate. But anyway, that's so Karen thinks it's like facing off the Death Star, and we know that Fisk has the ability, even though the ability to be imposing, to be imposing, to be an imposing, to be an imposing threat without being there physically, being an imposing physical, being an imposing physical threat. But that's not it. That's not all. So the plan is set. That night, Karen and obviously Maddie / Daredevil are going to strike the ship. But in a twist of epic proportions, of daring proportions, McDuffie before going to trial and defending the swordsman as best as she could, McDuffie was given access to the bald man's secret vigilante prison. So, in a twist, and this epic twist and this daring twist, after Angela gave McDuffie the information of her aunt being arrested and being mistreated by the bald man's special forces, McDuffie decided to basically talk it out with the swordsman in the bald man's secret prison for vigilantes, and basically she talked a little bit with the swordsman, and she basically got a little bit of information, but of course, but here's the kicker: to enter the bald man's secret prison, you had to get permission to gain access to the prison, but you couldn't. But you had to enter blindfold into the prison, and after entering your client's cell room, you can take it off. So, and again, by episode one, McDuffie doesn't know the whereabouts of Maddie or Karen. All that she knows is that he is safe and Karen is safe from the bald man's craziness. But in this twist of fate, Maddie / Daredevil decides to basically meet secretly without McDuffie knowing. Meet secretly with McDuffie as Daredevil. So McDuffie meets with Daredevil by talking to him. Secret again. And again, I want to preface that McDuffie doesn't know that Daredevil has come to her office as Daredevil, and that Maddie has come to her out to the office and to McDuffie's office as Daredevil. So as Daredevil, basically, Maddie asked McDuffie, "Can you give me the details of this of Fisk's secret prison?" And basically McDuffie says, I couldn't see what the prison looked like because I was blindfolded, but I could hear what the prison sounded like. And that's all the information that Maddie needed. And the only sound that she heard besides the footsteps that she took, McDuffie took to enter uh, the swordsman's cell room was the sound of a key card to gain access to the swordsman's cell room. And again, basically Maddie said, that's all I need. That's all the information I need. And I'll leave it at that. Meanwhile, before this, way before this, King or Fisk was having a debate with himself and with Buck, his right hand, dirty political advisor and slash real henchman. And the bald one was having a debate with himself of whether attacking Daredevil or attacking Daredevil or leaving Daredevil or unmasking Daredevil, which he already knows that it's Maddie. But here's the problem. As you can recall, guys, before at the end of season one, Bullseye had a contract to kill Fisk, but Maddie saved Fisk. That's the basic gist of it. So the debate that we see in episode 3 that Fisk is having with himself, that Fisk is having with himself, is whether he should destroy the man that calls himself Daredevil, and who is also the man that saved his life, or that saved his life from that saved his life, or just let him run, let him do his thing for a while, and then if things get hot with him, if he starts getting spicy with his closeness of getting to him, meaning getting close to basically bringing justice to the city of New York, bringing him to justice, bringing Fisk himself to justice. And basically Buck is like, sir, what do you suggest we do? So, in a moment of short clarity, basically, Fisk decided to have an impromptu press conference declaring that Matt Murdock has been missing for the past few months, and that a vigilante, the vigilante that tried to kill me, which we know is Bullseye, and Fisk says it in his press conference, is Bullseye is basically threatening, basically put a bounty on, put a bounty, put a bounty on his head. That Bullseye put a bounty on Maddie's head, and Fisk says, Fisk says in his in 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 his press conference that Bullseye has a bounty on Maddie's head, and and that he wants to, and that he wants to find him to help him. But we all know that it's not, that is not the truth. He wants Maddie undeviled, meaning undaredeviled, to basically beat him up and basically destroy him. So that's it. But Maddie is already smells this. Smells. Karen and Maddie smell this from a mile away. The Fisk's plan, and obviously Maddie and Karen do get out, but when they see the posters that Fisk ordered to put on every corner of Red Hook and / New York City, all over New York City, that basically said to Karen and Maddie, we need to go. We need to not regroup, but we need to re-strategize. And as for Fisk himself, again, the swordsman was sentenced to remain in the bald man's secret prison, and of course, the trial of the swordsman was televised, so Fisk was able to see the sentencing, and of course Fisk was laughing his bald head off. But here's the thing. But again, just like I said in my review of episode 2, now the governor is smelling the nastiness that is the bad taco smell of Fisk's, of the bald man. And basically Fisk tells Daniel, his fan groupie to find unflattering and dirty and controversial stuff on the governor of New York. And of course, Daniel has some information, but he hasn't found a single spot a single dirty and nasty and disgusting stain on the governor's record. And but then Buck and of course fan groupie Daniel have a talk between the two, and basically Buck says Buck gives gives Daniel a shot, a share shot, a share shot of doom to his confidence and to his job security. Basically, if you basically Buck says to Daniel, if you think being lieutenant mayor assistant makes your head cocky as a fancy coffee from Paris, you need to bring down your cockiness a notch, because if not, I will bring it down for you. And I also need, so if you want to keep your position position in this administration of the bald one, I need you to dig some dirty dirt on the governor. And as for Mrs. Fisk, she tells her husband that we should go, after conquering the streets of New York and the whole state of New York, we need to go on vacation to our island, to our private island. And basically Fisk tells Mrs. Fisk, his wife, that not only I want to rule and become emperor of the streets of New York and the whole city of New York, but I want to conquer the world. I haven't conquered the world yet. But again, guys, there's one problem. Like I just said a little bit ago, the original plan for Maddie and Karen was to mostly Maddie as Daredevil and Karen as her disguised self was to get on the bald star, but when the Baldwin special forces unit, special vigilante unit, got information where Maddie and Karen were staying at, basically a fight broke out between Daredevil and Fisk Special Vigilante unit again, but and it was awesome, but besides getting their faces kicked in, Karen knocked out and basically took as collateral piece of gold a vigilante forces a vigilante force cop that wasn't the main the main the main group that we know that is commanded by Dirty Cop Powell. But this Special Forces Unit officer that is not Powell or any of his any of the any members of the head group of Baldwin Special Vigilantes Unit basically said that yes that yes Fisk is going to transport even more of his dirty chocolate, dirty sick chocolate to other ports, to his friends. But I'm on your side, and I want to help. I want to get rid of the Baldwin. I want to get rid of the Baldwin as well. So this vigilantes unit lower cop gave Karen a key. A special, bald star key. That was to get into the smelly chocolate room. But in a twist of fate, like I said before, but in a twist of fate, since Daredevil had already been given the information of this secret bald man's prison, bald man's prison. Maddie decided, let's attack. We will still go on the ship, but let's attack let's attack the prison first. And so they did. So the plan didn't change, but it was modified. We will attack the prison first, and then the ship. Again, we will attack the bald man's prison. Then I will get on the bald star again, and we will go from there. But Karen knew that they were going to be outnumbered, outmathed with the numbers. So, in a twist of awesome fate, Angela, White Tiger's niece, decided to put on her uncle's medallion. Her uncle's medallion and said, I don't give a flying taco, but I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you, Karen. And Daredevil out. So she did. By commandeering, with the help of Karen, a special vigilantes unit truck. And by this time, Daredevil, or Maddie / Daredevil, was able to discover the bald man's prison, and was able to release or unjail the swordsman, Mr. Duquesne, and other opposition leaders against that were against the Baldman's government, and basically chaos ensued. And good chaos. But to keep it short and sweet, and Angela, and the other cellmates and other prison mates, including her aunt, were able to escape. But tragically, the Powell and the special and the Baldman's special vigilante special forces had one order: if anything were to go wrong with the cargo transfer, I needed to blow up the ship. So that's what Powell did. By orders of the bald man, meaning Fisk, his man and himself blew up the bald star. And since Maddie and since Kingpin got an inclination that Daredevil was going to get on the ship again, he decided to blow up the ship. He decided, I don't want to risk it. I'm going to blow up the ship with innocent people, innocent working people on the ship that they were hoping to get back to their families after working a long shift. So with that being said, guys, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to tap that like button, and if you want to expand your time here, please don't doubt yourselves and tap that subscribe button. Now, if you want to expand your time here and stay up to date with my channel and my other content of my channel, please don't doubt yourselves and tap that notification bell as well. So with that being said, guys, thank you for watching, and Wakanda forever. Bye.